Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and today I'm coming to you from the Venetian Las Vegas, where I'm checking out Yardbird. Super happy to have you along. I'll see you inside. All right, everyone, and here we are seated at the Yardbird. Now, this is a southern country kitchen at the Venetian. You have an intimately lit bar setting and lounge up front, and a slightly better lit full sit-down restaurant area in the back with a lot of southern influence. I love the hardwood tones and really cool mason jar lighting. A very nice vibe in here. Now, regardless of the vibes, you know, it's all about the food for me, so let's take a look at what they have to eat on the menu. So here is your lunch menu at the Yardbird. We'll start off with some cocktails. Feel free to take a pause in the video if you'd like to take a closer look at these drinks. But you have some classic cocktails up here, seasonal and old-fashions, whiskeys, as well as wine by the glass, and draft beer down here. Let me see if I can pull you guys away from the glare. So there are all of your wines, and then your draft beer list here also. And if we flip the menu to the other side, we'll take a look at the food. Here are your starters and the shared stuff. Deviled eggs, biscuits. This all looks really good. And then you also have some garden salads and bowls here. Moving further south, we've got some sandwiches, handhelds. And then we'll go up to the classic section here. We have chicken and waffles. Actually, just a lot of really good looking chicken dishes, shrimp and grits, lobster mac and cheese, and then your list of sides. Very nice. And that is your menu here at the Yardbird. A very nice southern menu here at the Yardbird. A lot of options I'm looking forward to trying today, because you know how it goes in my videos. Every restaurant is a buffet if you're willing to pay. So I'm going to get a nice variety, and together we'll see what this place is all about. Appetizers are coming up first. I'll see you in a little bit when they arrive. And welcome back, everyone. My appetizers just got here and it's looking really good. Let me give you a view. Now I got their popcorn shrimp along with some lobster bisque, their deviled eggs, their cornbread, and a single biscuit on its own. I'm ready for some good country cooking. Let's give it a try. First up, lobster bisque. A very nice looking lobster bisque here. And I can actually see the chunk of lobster in the bisque. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's very good. This is incredibly creamy. A beautiful texture to this. This is a very rich bisque. Nice amounts of butter in here. There are some nice big chunks of lobster in here, providing their sweet flavor. Though texture-wise, it is a bit chewy, but I think that's to be expected if it's in a bisque like this. A well-seasoned bisque here. You actually get some additional salty blast when you get any of this roe in your bite. And then there's a bit of a smoky, spicy aftertaste. Not too overbearing. It's quite good. This is a really good lobster bisque. I like this one. Next up, the popcorn shrimp. I actually love that this is served in a popcorn container. I've got a nice little popcorn shrimp on the fork here. We'll give it a dip in the sauce. Let's see how this is. Yeah, it's good. I actually really like the batter to this shrimp. It's incredibly light, very airy, almost tempura-like in texture. You can tell this was a fairly liquidy batter. A well-seasoned batter as well. Good flavor here, and you absolutely get the sweet brininess of the shrimp. It's very good. Now the cream sauce, while it's not bad, I can't exactly say I'm a big fan of it. It's certainly very rich, provides a nice level of moisture to the bite, but it's a bit of an odd mix between sweet and spicy. I think the spice level needs to be amped up a little bit to balance out the sweet. The sweet sauce doesn't pair as well for me with this popcorn shrimp. But again, not to say that it's bad. I think it's just a little bit of a tweak for my personal taste. A pretty decent popcorn shrimp here, though. Next up, skillet cornbread. A very moist and dense looking cornbread here. There's a huge dollop of butter on the top of this cornbread and a nice little chunk of it here on the fork. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's very good. Now typically when it comes to my cornbreads, I haven't been the biggest fan of the jalapeno style cornbreads in the past, because oftentimes I find the balance between the flavors to be pretty muddled. I really like the execution of the cornbread here at Yardbird though. You have a little bit of a crisp on the top from the bake, a little bit of texture there, but internally this cornbread is incredibly moist, very dense, and a bit cakey. It imparts a lot of rich and naturally sweet flavors from the corn. It's very good. What I love about the jalapeno application here is that it feels much more emulsified through the entire batter. While there are chunks of jalapeno in here, leading to bursts of spiciness, in general, the heat is very subdued and just mildly present in every bite. And this is exactly how I love having jalapeno cornbread. A nice amount of butter on the top provides richness, although I do think it is leaning a bit salty if you get too much of it, but otherwise very, very good. I'm a fan of the cornbread here at Yardbird. This is a good one. Next up, deviled eggs. Now this was the first thing listed on the menu, as well as having a little star icon next to it. So I think this is one of the signature dishes here at the Yardbird. Let's give it a shot.
That's what that is.
Oh, that's very good. A beautifully creamy texture to that deviled egg, whipped into an airy cloud. Such a great feel. Now this is a very rich dish. I wouldn't recommend putting down the entire plate by yourself. I'm pretty sure you'd be taking a nap relatively shortly after. A nice amount of smoky salinity coming from the salmon roe on top. And there's a wonderful sour tang coming from the dill here. And it's not overpowering. It's actually perfectly balanced. You actually get a wonderful mix of flavors here. A very nice deviled egg. That's a good one. All right, my friends, and the last bite I'm trying from this appetizer round is going to be their biscuits. Now, while the menu shows orders of 4 biscuits, you are able to order these a la carte. And so I got some with some butter and jam applied here. I think a good biscuit is critical to having a good southern restaurant. Let's see how these are. Okay, that's a good biscuit right there. Now, when it comes to biscuits, there's 3 things I typically look for, and they're all being nailed very well here. Firstly, I cannot deal with a dry biscuit, and I'm happy to report here at the Yardbird that their biscuits arrive very moist. We're off to a good start. Now, when it comes to textures, I either like a really flaky biscuit or a bit more of an airy one, and here at the Yardbird, they're going with more of that airy style. A moist and soft center, encapsulated with a slightly crispy and well-done exterior. It's very good. And certainly the last thing I look for in a good biscuit is a nice buttery flavor, and they've got that going on here at Yardbird as well. A very rich biscuit, although I will say there's a fair amount of sugar in here. It leans a little bit sweet as well. Just a solid biscuit here at the Yardbird. I really like the biscuits here, that's good. All right, everyone, now that's all of the appetizers I'm trying today. Just a few more bites, and I'm gonna box this all up to go, and then we'll go in our first round of entrees. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Welcome back, my friends. Now, my first round of entrees just got here, and I decided to get all of their handhelds. Let me give you a view. This is the Nashville hot sandwich, as well as the American burger, the braised short rib sandwich, as well as their chicken Caesar wrap. Now, while these all typically come with fries, you are able to upgrade to different sides, and so I decided to try their French fries, their okra, their mac and cheese, and their Brussels sprouts. This is all looking really good. Let's give it a try. First off, we're trying the cheeseburger. A nice looking bacon double cheeseburger here. Absolutely massive. Let's give it a shot.
Yes, of course. Those tools are
Oh yeah, that's a good burger. Kicking things off, you have a very soft burger bun here. Slightly sweet, incredibly airy in the center, with a good toast to it as well. It's very good. I really like the burger patties here. It's a very rich burger patty. You can tell this is much more than just ground chuck. It's making me think that they have a proprietary meat blend in the back that they're using for this patty. It's well seasoned, cooked to a medium well. A decent crust has developed on the outside also. A good burger patty there. Nice melty American cheese provides some salinity, as well as richness. And you have a bit of a tangy sweet burger sauce, a little bit more savory and spicy than a standard Thousand Island. It's very good. All of the produce here is great. Fresh lettuce, sweet tomatoes, and pickled red onions provide a little bit of additional flavor. But I would say the most robust flavor in this burger is actually coming from the smoky pork belly. Instead of using your standard bacon, they've opted to use a very thick cut pork belly here. It's very rich, soft, and tender, and it provides such a beautiful accent smoky flavor to the entire cheeseburger. A solid cheeseburger there. Now the side that I got for the cheeseburger is the macaroni and cheese. Let's give this a shot.
bad thing. How do I do a good thing? the neck fine?
Oh yeah, it's good. A perfectly fine macaroni and cheese here. Now, while the noodles aren't exactly al dente, I wouldn't call them mushy by any means either. A solid way in the middle, a decent chew to them. A good mac and cheese needs to have good macaroni, and so far the pasta is doing fine. Now, this is a very nice cheese sauce for the mac and cheese. It's rich, it has a bit of a sharp flavor. I believe this is a multi-cheese blend, but sharp cheddar is definitely one of the stars here. You have some toasted breadcrumbs providing some texture plain crunch on the top of this mac and cheese, and all in all, that's very enjoyable. A good mac and cheese here at the Yardbird. Next up, Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Now we've got a really nice big piece of chicken in the sandwich. Pretty simply dressed, some butter, lettuce, and coleslaw. The Nashville hot Yardbird sandwich.
Fun time.
Yeah, that's good. Now we're working with the same bun here that we had with the burger, so it's very good. Again, soft and pillowy, a little bit sweet, a nice toast in the center, just a good bun in general. A nice and juicy chicken here. Solid crunch on the outside with that breading, and a relatively moist and tender chicken meat on the center. A nice pungent spice mix for this Nashville hot chicken. While I wouldn't classify it as super spicy, there's definitely a bit of a lingering heat here, a bit of a creeper spice. I do feel a handful of beads of sweat forming on my brow, and so there's definitely some spice going on here. The spice is nicely balanced with the slaw on top. Not exactly the creamiest slaw, but it does provide some respite from that spice, and a little bit of tang from the vinegar in that slaw also helps cut through a lot of the richness here. But the flavors here are very well balanced and tasty. A nice Nashville hot chicken sandwich here. Now with the Nashville hot chicken sandwich, I went in on the French fries. Let's see how these are.
Talking about quality of life.
Yeah, those are great. Obviously prepared in-house. These are textbook hand-cut French fries. Skin on for a little bit of that rustic feel, but a fantastic crisp to the exterior. A nice pillowy potato center to these French fries. Well seasoned, providing a good starchy flavor. These are really good French fries. I like them quite a bit. Next up, the short rib sandwich. Served on something more like a ciabatta loaf as opposed to the burger bun we saw earlier. And I've added the accompanying pickled onions, the braised short rib sandwich.
And it's like, so those are the things that you look at and this is just amazing. We're not done with it.
Oh yeah, that's really tasty. A fantastic ciabatta bread here. Nice and soft, very airy, with a little bit more of an earthy flavor than I experienced with those burger buns. A nice ciabatta roll here. The braised short rib is very good. It's tender and juicy, relatively well seasoned, although I do think it could use a bit of additional salt and pepper. But otherwise, it imparts a nice beefy flavor, a good short rib meat there. You get a bit of a mild richness coming from the cheese, and a peppery kick from the arugula that's on top. I definitely like the tang from my pickled onions that I placed here. But what really brings this whole sandwich together is this smoky chipotle-like sauce. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit smoky, with a very nice rich element to it. If barbecue sauce and aioli had a child, it would be something like this. It works very well in the sandwich. Again, a unifying element that brings it all together. A good sandwich here, I like this one. Now for the short rib sandwich, I decided to go with the Brussels sprouts. Let's see how these are. Oh, that's very good. This is a really great Brussels sprout side. I love everything about this one. They absolutely nailed the timing with this cook. It's perfectly soft with just a little bit of chew. Awesome timing on these. You absolutely get a bit of that trademark bitter flavor when it comes to a sprout, but I would say the majority of the flavor profile here actually leans a bit salty. It's a savory dish with just a hint of sweetness at the tail end. It's very good. You go from a little bit of that bitter into a salty, into a sweet, a nice play of flavors. A very good Brussels sprout dish here. I like this one. Alrighty, and the last handheld we're trying today is going to be the chicken Caesar wrap. I'd say a pretty standard looking chicken Caesar wrap here, though I do see little strips of bacon here. Hopefully it's good. The chicken Caesar wrap. Yeah, not bad. Now the tortilla here isn't exactly super pliable. It has a bit of a stiff texture to it. It feels like it could crack if I bend it the wrong way. And I wouldn't say it imparts that much flavor. I'd say it's just here as a vessel for the wrap. Now while none of the elements are bad, I'm just not a big fan of the ratios here. I want to say the majority of this wrap is just filled with lettuce. I got very little chicken in that bite. And while I wouldn't say the chicken was exactly dry, I would definitely say it's flirting with that line. I would definitely appreciate much more of a moist chicken here. The bacon is a little bit crispy, providing a little bit of a texture crunch, and it is the most flavor that you get in this wrap when you have it in the bite. There is a Caesar-like dressing in here, providing some richness, but personally for me, I'm finding my first several bites just not all that satisfying because I'm mostly eating just lettuce. I want them to triple the amount of chicken in this recipe. It's not bad tasting, I just don't think I'll get it again though. All right, my friends, now the last bite I'm trying from this round of food is going to be the fried okra. A pretty good looking fried okra here. We'll dip it into this very orange colored sauce. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. A nice crispy exterior to this fried okra, a nice crunch to that, and it is a well-seasoned batter, certainly not bland by any means. Good levels of salt and pepper, as well as something that's providing a little bit of a smoky flavor. I want to say some paprika or maybe some chili powder. All of that is fine. The okra in the middle is providing its natural flavors. I will say it seems a little bit under on the two pieces that I had. I think the okra could have been just a tad softer, but I think we're literally only talking about just a couple of additional seconds on the cook here. A nice kick to this spicy mayonnaise sauce. It's creamy and rich, but it definitely has a nice spice level to it. More of a straight spice than a smoky spice. I want to say this is just straight cayenne. It does work well for the okra. I think if the okra was just a little bit softer, I would have enjoyed this a lot more. All right, my friends, now that's all of the handhelds that they have here. Just a couple more bites. I'm going to box this all up to go, and then we'll go in our last round of entrees. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. All right, my friends, welcome back. I just got my second round of entrees. This is looking really good. Let me give you a view. Got the chicken and waffles along with their shrimp and grits and their grilled blackened salmon fillets. This is all looking really good. Let's give it a try. First off, the chicken and waffles. Looks like you get half a bird with an order, as well as a waffle and some spiced watermelon here. We'll start with the chicken. Let's give it a shot. Oh yes, very good. I love everything about this chicken. This has to be one of the best fried chickens I've had in a long time. You have a very rustic crust here. I wouldn't classify it as ultra crunchy, but there is a nice crisp to it. But it's really the seasoning in the batter that's so delicious here. It's certainly a savory blend, a little bit smoky, really does provide some good southern flavors. I like the seasoning blend in the chicken a lot. As you can see here, we're working with a very, very juicy chicken meat. Absolutely wonderful fried job. That chicken meat is just glistening in the light. A very good fried chicken here at the Yardbird. Next up, these are the waffles. Got a little bit of syrup on this. It's waffle time. Oh, that's really good. This is a fantastic waffle. They've absolutely nailed the cook. A crispy exterior, a cakey and airy center. It's really satisfying to eat. Now, while there is a little bit of a natural sweet flavor to this, there's actually a savory nature to these waffles. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but there's a certain richness coming from this I can't quite put my finger on, but it's very good. The addition of the syrup provided a nice sweet layer to help balance out a lot of that savory flavor. It was very, very good. A very nice waffle right there. Okie doke, next up, this is the sliced watermelon. You get 5 cubes of watermelon on this dish, and I can see some strips of what I believe is mint. It could be basil, but I am excited to try this out. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of depth of flavor with this watermelon. So many layers here. Now it's covered in some kind of a very pungent spice. I want to say I tasted something like cumin or some chili powder there. It's not exactly what I was expecting up front, but it was pleasant. Eventually it does give way to the natural sweetness of the watermelon. And then toward the end of the bite, you actually do get a nice freshness from the mint here. From spicy to sweet to minty, it is a very fun ride when it comes to the flavors. A nice little watermelon dish here. Next up, these are the shrimp and grits. Now we'll kick things off with the shrimp. I absolutely love how clean these look. Let's try the shrimp. That's a good shrimp right there. Incredibly plump and succulent. A wonderfully bouncy bite to this shrimp. This has to be some of the best barbecue shrimp texture I've had in a long time. There's definitely a bit of a smoky flavor, and in general, it's been well seasoned. The briny sweetness of that shrimp absolutely comes through here. It's very tasty. I really like that shrimp. And then here's the other half of the equation when it comes to shrimp and grits, the grits. Now, while I see little bits of ham here, I just want to try the grits on their own. Let's see how they are. very good. You have a little bit of that textbook grainy feel. However, it is a relatively smooth texture here. Wonderfully seasoned grits. Oftentimes I find grits to be under-seasoned heavily and they're bland. Not the case here at the Yardbird. A lot of solid flavor here. The jus that's served alongside these shrimp and grits is very good. A nice deep savory flavor to this jus. You can actually get hints of the flavor of beer in this jus as well. Just slightly earthy. It's actually very good. A well-prepared dish of grits right there. Now we'll try all of the elements in the dish together. The shrimp and grits. Very tasty. The addition of that ham provides an extra salinity that's actually bumping up the flavors quite a bit here. What's nice is, though, that it's not overpowering because the sweetness from the tomatoes helps to mellow it a bit. And there's also some caramelized onion here providing a nutty sweetness. The shrimp, the jus, the grits, all of it works together so well. A very savory and succulent bite. I'm a fan of the shrimp and grits here. It's a good one. Alrighty, and the last dish I'm trying today is going to be their blackened salmon. I definitely like the grill marks I see here, and a nice smoky aroma coming off of this. It's a blackened salmon. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. A pretty solid salmon dish here. I absolutely love the smoky blackened seasoning that they have, and not exactly spicy, but a bit of kick on the back end. A very delicious spice blend. I do like that a lot. Now, while the fish isn't exactly dry, it's certainly not moist. It's somewhere in the middle, and ultimately that leads for a less satisfying bite. If that salmon fish was a little bit more moist and had a flakier flesh, I would enjoy this a lot more. But the blackened seasoning blend is very good. I'd say I'm pretty okay with this one. All right, my friends, now the last bite I'm trying from this second round of entrees is going to be the side to the salmon. These are the black-eyed peas. I mean, they feel super soft on my fork, and they're drowning in some kind of an oil sauce here. The black-eyed peas. Yeah, that's good. Nicely cooked peas here. Very soft. Nice chew on the bite to these. An excellent preparation. A good earthy flavor coming through from these black-eyed peas, but they're also well seasoned and they've soaked up a bit of this spicy, rich oil that the dish is served in, providing a little extra dimension of flavor. There is a nice depth of flavor here. It starts off a little bit rich and spicy from that oil, giving way to the earthiness of the black-eyed peas. A perfectly fine side for the salmon here. All right, everyone, now that's going to do it for all of the food I'm trying today. I am so full. I think just a couple more bites and we'll box this all up to go, and then we'll try some desserts up next. Don't go anywhere because sweets are coming up. Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for some desserts, and I just got the dessert menu. Let's take a look at what they have. So here's your dessert menu at the Yardbird. We've got a key lime bar, strawberry cheesecake, oh, fried Oreo sundae. That sounds incredible. Cobbler cake duo, and then you've got some larger desserts down here. Looks like a little luxury as well as a giant chocolate cake. It serves 4 to 6 guests, and as much as I love having big orders, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put that much down. It's probably going to be one of these here. And that's a nice little condensed dessert menu here at the Yardbird. I'm going to go ahead and get my order in, but for all of you at home, I'm going to make that dessert appear right now. All right, and here it is, everyone. My dessert just got here. This is looking so good. Let me give you a view. Now, I ordered the fried Oreo sundae. However, they were very kind and offered me a smaller version of their key lime bar, something they really wanted me to try. And while I am really full, there's always a little bit of room for some sweets. Let's activate the dessert stomach and give this a shot. First off, this is the fried Oreo sundae. I've got both the deep fried Oreo as well as the ice cream here. This is one of my favorite fair foods. Let's see how it is. Oh, that is so good. I feel like I just found myself back at the county fair, but with way higher quality ingredients. You would not believe how creamy and smooth this ice cream is. It's velvety soft. I actually really like the texture of the ice cream. A nice smooth and cool vanilla flavor there. The whipped cream on top provides an airy sweetness as well as a little bit of additional richness coming from that chocolate sauce. All of the sundae elements are quite good. However, it's the deep fried Oreo that 100% takes the spotlight here. A wonderfully crispy exterior provides a lot of texture crunch. A little bit nutty and sweet, that exterior coating. It's not just there for show, it's very good. The Oreo in the center provides a lot of sweetness. I'm sure you know what an Oreo tastes like. But when it's deep fried in this way, it just feels so much more comforting. This is a very rich and very sweet, but a delicious dessert. All right, my friends, now as mentioned, they brought me an additional dessert today to try out. This is their key lime bar. Now this is a gluten-free dessert. It's very rare that I find gluten-free desserts on the Strip, and so that's actually pretty nice on its own. Again, this is a miniature version of what they would serve. I'm not entirely sure what the full version looks like, but I can certainly tell you what the full version is going to taste like. Let's see how it is. Oh, that is very good. So many great flavors in this key lime bar. Starting off with the key lime custard, it's incredibly smooth, very sweet, with a nice creamy texture. It is very good. Now there's a marzipan layer in here. For those that aren't in the know, marzipan is effectively something like a sugar confection, typically mixed together with almond meal or something grainy. The marzipan here provides a little bit of a texture crunch, as well as a lot of additional sweetness. There's a mascarpone cheese on the top, and it's topped with the zest of some limes, offering such a beautiful tart flavor. This dessert is sweet, it's really refreshing. A good dessert here, I like this one. All right, my friends, now that's going to do it for my lunch here at the Yardbird at the Venetian Las Vegas. Now my lunch came out to $324 today before tip. However, this is really awesome. I did not know they have a 25% locals discount here at the Yardbird. So I was able to knock off $81 here. And with a gratuity of 18% as well as tax, I was able to get out of here at $321 today. The lobster bisque and that skillet cornbread were my favorite appetizers of the day. And I think the short rib sandwich was my favorite of the handhelds. I think their fried chicken is really good here at Yardbird because the chicken and waffles dish was my favorite from the last round. And I actually enjoyed both desserts. I thought they were very good today. If you're staying here at the Venetian and you're looking for some good southern food, this is what you can expect at the Yardbird. All right, my friends, now that's going to do it for this Saturday video where I continue my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown. Coming this Tuesday, I'm going to be returning to the Las Vegas Valley for a more local spot. Make sure you come back for that one. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great weekend, and I hope you enjoyed Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.